So as you can see, I'm shading the lines very closely together, and I'm holding, it doesn't matter whether I'm using a mechanical pencil like this or a wooden pencil, you should hold it as flat as possible to the paper. And it may look like that I'm simply going backwards and forwards with the pencil strokes, but I'm actually lifting it just ever so slightly and then placing it on the other side. And that way you get a more consistent pencil stroke and more consistent shading. And as you shade with the pencil at that angle, you get a broader surface that actually leaves a mark on the paper, rather than if you do it like this, you're going to get scratchy lines. So I've got to pay attention here to where the shadows are actually falling, otherwise I'm going to mess this up. I'm not pressing very hard on the paper either. I'm using a HP, so I don't need to press that hard. So I keep checking back to my reference image to see that I'm doing the right thing, that I'm on course as I mark out the shadow areas. Would be better if I had the reference right next to me here, but seeing as I have to video this, I can't do that. I need to have the drawing here so I can film it, so you can see what I'm doing. So that means I'm having to look up further away, although I do have my reference just in the corner of my eye, corner of my sight. And there we go. So this is just a rough shading of shadow families and the light families. I tell you what, I'm going to include this in the shadow family. It's really on the border there. And that's it. Okay, now's the time to try and add in some other values to this image. And I'm just going to go gently. I'll gradually darken the shadows. Trying to keep them all balanced. Again, I'm trying to be consistent with my shading. And I keep constantly checking my reference. I'm changing direction of my shading here to match the plane, to match the surface. Notice how that spot there is too bright. Just put a couple of little strokes through it. Constantly comparing to my reference. Which is why I'm frequently pausing as I sketch, because I'm looking at my reference. I'm making minor adjustments to some of these shapes because they're not correct, but the overall drawing is not accurate, because my emphasis for this drawing was demonstrating the shading and selecting the shadow family versus the light family.